Welcome back, comrades, by the way. Sorry about that. Some animals have... I get that we all want... we vegans want all animals to live, but some animals have to die in order for others to survive. Because some animals... are obligate carnivores, like cats. The house cat. If we killed off every feral cat, rats would be able to we would be overrun by rats. If we killed off every feral cat, the world would be overrun by rats. Because within about 3 years, if left to their own devices, 2 rats would become 500 million in like 3 years. It'd be the end of the human race as we know it. It'd be pretty sad. There'd be mass starvation. Billions would die. Because the first generation, you have 2 rats. Second generation, 10 rats. Third generation, 50 rats. Fourth generation, 250 rats. Fifth generation, 1250 rats. Sixth generation, 6,250. It adds up quick. I am not joking. And I am not joking. They multiply quickly. Even faster than cats. From 2 cats to 80 million cats, it's gonna take about 10 years. Rats will achieve that in less than 3 years. So if we leave every feral cat alone, the rat population would deprecate and stabilize until they become... The rat population would... But thankfully we have feral cats to keep the rat population from exploding. Because rats are known to multiply very quickly. One male and one female rat. 8 pups would survive to adulthood. At least. making even more rats. But thankfully, cats keep the population of the rats under control. They live in places we consider not, in places that are not hygienic. Like the sewers. Ugh. I wouldn't want to live in the sewers. Because that is just, the idea of doing it is disgusting. But if we put cats in the, feral cats into the sewers, there'd be less disease to worry about. Because they are known to eat rats. Those same 2 rats can turn into 500 million rats in like 3 years. And I'm not even kidding. If you have 2 rats, let them multiply. 2 rats becomes 10. Those 10 rats become 50. Those 50 rats becomes 250. Then 1250. They multiply. If left to their own devices, the population would grow 625 times. Like, at a rate of 625 to the power, to the xth power. No. $625 to the xth power. I'm not even kidding. Like if you have 1 male and 1 female rat, let them multiply. They spread disease like crazy. If I was to embark on a long journey across the Atlantic to Germany, or maybe Norway, I'd keep the ship small enough to where sharks wouldn't see this. I'd keep the ship small enough. I'd use the power of nature to ensure the perfect ship for my long voyage. If I was to embark on a long journey to the Netherlands, I'd apply for a for a permanent residence card. And I'd bring sustenance with me. Plus, the human body's pretty amazing. So take advantage of that. And how large would the paddles be? They're going to be pretty huge. So I could maneuver the boat pretty easily. The boat would have to be wide enough to fit a bed inside. Well, if I make it to the Netherlands, I might think about making videos with Kwebbelkop. Yes, I'm gonna bring my dumbbells with me too, because I'm still gonna have to exercise. Now to use an ultrasonic speaker to distract the sharks. Not be blasting death metal from those speakers to distract the sharks. I'd use it to distract the sharks. With the far right growing around the world, and the Democrats are leaning towards the left as a response. And a lot of leftists are leaning even further into the left. We need a society that serves based on the interests of the working class, not based on the interests of the wealthy few. America was always ruled based on the interests of the wealthy few. It was never ruled based on the interests of the working class, sadly. That was because of a system of slavery. The first sign it was never served based on the interests of the proletariat. You gotta go back to the days in which slavery was a thing. That was slavery was something that was common practice. In which the slave owners had more political power. In which slave owners had more political power than the slaves. In my socioeconomic theory, the one with the greatest need for resources, like physiologically, would be the ones given more of it. The ones with the greatest physiological need for resources would be given more of it. whilst those with a lesser need wouldn't be given as much because they wouldn't need as much. Because they wouldn't need as much. Parents who have a lot of kids would be given more resources, while parents with less kids wouldn't need as much, so they would be given less of it. It would be the fairest method of resource allocation. It would also be determined by how much you need to eat in order to sustain life. Because we all have different metabolic rates at rest. Those with a faster resting metabolic rate would need more food. Like, assuming a healthy weight. There are people out there who are metabolically healthy and overweight. But that's okay. There are overweight people that are metabolically healthy. And that's okay. There are people out there with, it's possible to have a lot of body fat and be metabolically healthy. This is why you should join the fat acceptance movement. Because healthy comes in all shapes and sizes. Healthy comes in all shapes and sizes. Healthy comes in all shapes and sizes. If your appetite's growing and you're losing weight, that means you have hyperthyroidism or lipodystrophy. To determine if someone has hypotonia or hypertonia, they do a get-up test in which you sit on the floor, you try to get up without using your arms. If you can do it without using your arms successfully, that means you have good muscle tone. But if you can get up with forearms without any support, that means your muscle tone is normal. But if you can't get up even with forearms without with your arms without support, That means you have hypotonia. That's basically a simple muscle tone test. It's a simple muscle tone test. The more muscle tone you have, the more likely you'll be able to get up without using your arms. There are people out there who weigh like 300 pounds at 6'0" with a lot of body fat and are metabolically healthy. And that is because some of those people with a lot of body fat have very little visceral fat. There are some people out there in this world who can't help it with their obesity. Like a small group of people in which they feel that they're never full and they are always hungry all the time. That is a case. Basically, that's a case of Prader-Willi syndrome. One example of such is a guy named Connor Hayback, who is featured on Mystery Diagnoses. In an episode called The Boy Who Cannot Stop Eating. There are people out there who eat so much yet who end up with an insatiable appetite yet losing weight. Like with that same insatiable appetite as PWS, yet they cannot gain any weight whatsoever. In fact, some of them end up developing an insatiable appetite at a normal weight, yet they become underweight. That is more of a case of lipodystrophy. Just like that 10-year-old boy who ate so much yet who ended up developing an insatiable appetite that is also very aggressive, yet was losing a lot of weight. That is the case of lipodystrophy. Lipo meaning fat, dys meaning malfunctioning, and trophy meaning grow. Atrophy means to shrink. Most cases of obesity are not related to Prader-Willi syndrome, but Prader-Willi syndrome is the most common is one of the genetic causes of obesity. It happens in 1 out of every 15,000 births. Out of 15,000 babies, only 1 of them will be born with it. It is something you're born with. It never goes away. Thanks to modern medicine, we can detect it before birth. And I'm getting smarter and smarter every day due to all the documentaries I'm watching. Documentaries help further my education at home. Those documentaries I like to watch are pretty interesting. Documentaries tend to be pretty interesting. They inform me about what to do if my child develops the symptoms of Prader-Willi syndrome. Like, if my potential child has PWS. If I was to ever have children. This should be it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video. A dislike if you didn't like this video. Subscribe if you love my content. Bell icon if you really love my content. As always, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter for more. As always, thank you for watching and peace out.